Welcome to Viewed and Reviewed for the month of May 2021. Don't know what that is? Well, this is the first episode, that's why. This is a new monthly show where every month I run you through every film, new or old, that I've watched that month for the very first time and give you a brief, to the point review. Understood? Good. Let's get straight to it then. This is May 2021, starting from May the 1st and ending with May 25th, the day before I recorded this video. Nomadland. Nomadland tells the story of a woman living in a van after the recession and mingling with others in a similar situation. It's a moving, enlightening drama filled with fabulous performances and gorgeous visuals. Sometimes it's a little on the slow side and its narrative isn't the most gripping, so it won't be for everyone. The Mitchells versus the Machines. So, the Mitchells, a family going through a period of change when their daughter is heading to university. Suddenly, they have to contend with robots who want to take over the earth, tired of being used and then rendered obsolete. The Mitchells vs. the Machines is a brilliant, fast-paced, fun, quirky, funny and action-packed animated film from the studio that brought us Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Its animation is amazing with so much going on. The jokes are hilarious and the story is heartwarming, relatable and emotional. The way in which it foreshadows events, moments and so on is incredible, making the finale build upon everything that came before it. This is a must-watch. Creation stories. The music industry can be a tough one to break into, although creation stories makes it seem pretty easy. The film is often funny with great stylistic elements, however it is limited by its budget, with actors clearly using accents, certain actors playing characters far too young for them, and locations doubling as foreign locales. The story is pretty straightforward and generic. If you've seen a decent biopic before, this one follows the formula to a T. It's fun overall, but nothing new, unique or original. WALL.E. So, here we go. WALL.E is an amazingly crafted animated movie focusing on a robot who falls for a drone sent to Earth to discover if it's once again habitable. This is a classic Pixar film in that it mixes comedy, animation and drama with a healthy dose of heart and emotion. The first half of the movie is completely silent, with only ambient noises and sounds. It's also fairly old-fashioned with its use of humour and a little slow to get things going. Adults will admire this film. Kids, they might only like the highlights. Godzilla vs. Kong. One of the most ridiculous and bonkers films in many years is the monster mash between Godzilla and Kong. It's exactly what you think it is, a big, loud, action-packed outfit. The story is ridiculous because it has to be, the characters are stupid because they have to be, and the film is enjoyable because it embraces all the absurdity in it. Sadly, there are far too many characters that do not need to be in the film, and if you stop to think about any of it, the film falls apart. Luckily, it's less than 2 hours long and it's fun and exciting if you overlook the problems. Another Pixar movie now, Up. This time it's about an elderly wannabe adventurer whose wife sadly passed away, who then, to avoid his house being taken away, lifts into the air and goes on a personal adventure like none other. This is a fun film filled with lots of emotion, so much that many people might struggle to get through the opening moments. The animation and the voice acting are great, the jokes are funny if a little repetitive at times, and the story is engrossing. The only weakness is that the villains are a little traditional, with villainous intentions purely because they're villains. Keeping with Pixar, Cars 2. Not all of Pixar films can be classics, but they can still be very fun and enjoyable. At times, Cars 2 doesn't feel like a Pixar film, at times it feels like a marketing tool, designed to sell merchandise and lure in young viewers. Because of this, it lacks a meaningful story, and it lacks emotional elements, and it often doesn't feel like a sequel to Cars at all because it shifts focus to a new character and puts familiar characters on the sidelines. It's also very generic in that it's a spy film with cars. It is however fun and enjoyable, and it has some humorous moments. Oxygen. When a scientist wakes up in a cryogenic chamber with no memory of who she is, where she is and how she got there, she must of course figure all of this out and escape before her oxygen supply depletes. Oxygen is a trapped, claustrophobic film set entirely in one location. It's not an original idea, but the sci-fi twist, the fabulous central performances and the visuals are amazing. There are surprises, there are twists, there are big oh my god moments, and the central mysteries are enthralling, if sometimes a little predictable. Oxygen is worth checking out, but it is slow and it isn't the most exciting of films. Brave. Brave is yet another Pixar film. This one, however, feels more like an extended short than a full feature-length movie. Its story is short and abrupt, its themes are familiar, and some of its characters are lacking in development or originality. Brave is fun. It has that Pixar charm and humour, as well as some thrills and action sequences, and of course, brilliant animation and lighting. It's one of the best looking Pixar films to date. The problem is that it takes a long time for the plot to get going, and then it very quickly wraps up. It's as though a big chunk of the middle of the film was removed. It is, however, enjoyable and fun, just not one of Pixar's best. Mortal Kombat. It's an adaptation of a cheesy, over-the-top fighting game, so as you might expect, this is a cheesy, over-the-top action movie. If you like ridiculous action with plenty of blood and guts and gore, and if you also like bland characters often defined by tropes and appearances, as well as a story that's simply nonsense, then the 2021 version of Mortal Kombat is just for you. There is something to enjoy here, but the rate and speed of the action sequences means they eventually lose their punch. The CGI and special effects are often distracting, and if you want some depth, you're looking in the wrong place. Army of the Dead. So Army of the Dead is a zombie heist film that's full of good action and fun moments. Sadly, the film is far too long. The dramatic moments meant to flesh out the characters are often poorly written and melodramatic. The film is also predictable, and the visuals are all over the place. Couldn't they decide what should be in focus? Why are there dead pixels everywhere? There's a good soundtrack, the cast is interesting, as are their characters. There's definitely an enjoyable and entertaining film in there, it's just surrounded by a lot of excess material. Judas and the Black Messiah. A car thief is blackmailed by the FBI into infiltrating the Black Panthers and getting close to their leader. Is he a politician? Is he a terrorist? Are they the enemy? The themes and messages of Judas and the Black Messiah are what makes it good. It brings up issues around morals, ethics, equality, and so on and so forth. It makes the viewer think about and debate them. Top it off with two central performances that are absolutely fabulous, great cinematography and a cool soundtrack, and you have a pretty good film. It is, however, a bit on the slow side, and some of the messaging and topics may be too heavy for some viewers. Final film is The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. So, The Conjuring, Devil Made Me Do It, the third in the Conjuring trilogy, but I think the 8th in the overall franchise. Here we have the return of Ed and Lorraine. This time there's a demon on the loose and, well, he's made someone commit a crime. Can they use that as the defense though? Well, not really. So they need to prove the existence of this demon so that this person doesn't go to jail for it. And that's where this film really picks up steam. It's very familiar in that it's very similar to all the previous entries in this franchise. It's got all the tropes and cliches of horror right down to a T. However, its likable characters, its interesting plot and story, and its use of these tropes and cliches does work pretty well. So it's fun and enjoyable, just not all that original. And that's viewed and reviewed for May 2021, the film side of things. Check out the TV side on my other video. If you've liked this video, why not subscribe to my channel to get more content like this, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @the_Grant_Burton. Also, as you might have noticed, I'm on Letterboxd. Follow me there as well. Until next time though, thanks for watching.